bodybuilders, they're dropping dead like flies. Check out Google research 2022, 2023, and one of the big reasons that bodybuilders are dying because they focus on muscles, not health, especially heart health. So I used to be into this crowd, working out, going crazy, reading every single bodybuilding magazine, but I got a heart problem. Many. I've been to the hospital. I had many surgeries. Almost died. By the grace of God, I'm still alive today. What I want to tell you is, when you work out so hard to build muscles, you are breaking down muscles. Once you break down muscles, they need to be rebuilt again. And when you take protein, the protein, of course, amino acids, start to build the muscles again. So it's a break down and build again. The problem is, bodybuilders or athletes in general, but in particular bodybuilders, they lose so much vitamins and minerals throughout their lives, especially in a short time where they're trying to build their body. And what happens is you deplete your heart from so many minerals and vitamins that the heart needs to work. Your heart is a battery. You are a machine. We believe in the health industry, structure determines functions. By the way, my name is Cody Michael. I work in a raw material. We know where we know who makes the best product, where the plants and vegetables and spices are grown, how it's extracted, how it's packaged, how it's sent to the United States, how well kept it is in a temperature control, which company uses nitrogen blanket that protect the nutrient, the vitamins and minerals before even it gets to the factory through the shipping. And then they have nitrogen blanket in the machine, which is called nitrogen purge. They purge the machine completely from oxygen or air, because what happened when you cut an apple, after a few minutes it becomes yellow inside, right? It becomes yellow, start to oxidate. Oxidation means like rust, like the steel rusting. The same thing, vitamins and minerals, they will rust if they will oxidize if they're exposed to air and oxygen. So not many people knows about this, guys. More than 90% of the companies, supplements company, do not even think about that. They don't know where their product comes from. They just pick up the phone, they call, and somebody send them from a warehouse their product. They don't know where it's grown, how it's shipped, how well it's taken care of. They don't know nothing. We know from A to Z. I work in the raw material industry. We know where the product is grown, whether it's a plant or spices or fruits, how it's cultivated, how clean the area where the product is grown, is there any contaminations or not, etc. Is it organic? Is it wildcrafted from the forest? So we know that stuff. I used to think when I was in this crowd of bodybuilding and stuff like that, I knew some things about nutrition, but I really didn't. I've been 15 years on this journey trying to discover what happened to me. How did I get sick? How did I have heart problem? I thought I knew about nutrition. Most of these, by the way, nutrition business that involve bodybuilding, most of them, not all of them, are an ex-cons, tattoo guys. I don't have nothing against tattoo people, but most of them, they advertise themselves on YouTube, like, look, I'm taking this pre-workout and after workout and all that stuff. This is the type of people you're dealing with. They have no clue where their product comes from. Most of the products, by the way, comes from China. There's good quality in China and low quality. We don't source Chinese products for one reason. Chinese nutrient or vitamins or minerals contain 10,000 times, in some cases, higher heavy metals than Prop California allows. And of course it's much cheaper, but for us, we look for the top raw material. By the way, Dr. Joe Wallach had written a book called Dead Doctor Don't Lie. He wrote it more than 15 years ago. And he did an autopsies on 3,500 human beings who died suddenly. It's called sudden death. And he found, and on 17,500 animals also, all type of animals. And he found every single one of those deaths in the autopsy report was related to nutrition deficiencies. And the heart stopped because it didn't have enough fuel to keep on. We're talking from kids to adults to athletes. And one of his latest research, he shows that athletes die several years earlier than a couch potato. Why? Couch potato, he eats junks, he doesn't care what he eats. But couch potatoes does not spend so much of his whatever left of his vitamins and minerals because he doesn't work out, he doesn't move that much. So many athletes, they get affected in their later life and they die in their 50s and 60s and max at their 70s because of neglecting the nutrient earlier in life. And unfortunately, most of them will use cheap supplements. Cheap supplements made from chemicals. We all know it. 90% of them or more are made from chemicals. Chemicals and your body, they don't assimilate. Your body is carbon-based. Synthetic vitamins are made from chemicals is chemical-based. They cannot assimilate. You might take them, you might feel something, but in the long run, they will never help you with anything. They're completely different structure, different chemical bonds from anything else. So, for example, vitamin D, synthetic, the best use for it was to use it for rat poisoning. Did you know this? University of Colorado in 1999 reminded the scientific communities that's what it is for. It's synthetic vitamin D2. It doesn't work. And lately, Dr. Joel Kahn, who's a cardiologist, on PBS, he said he is noticing that some of his patients have high deposit of calcium around their heart tissues. He calls it the silent killer. What does that mean? People are taking so much vitamin D. When you take vitamin D orally, especially synthetic, the body doesn't recognize what it is. It only recognizes vitamin D from the sun. So what it does, it deposits calcium into the blood. It doesn't deposit it into the bones. And what happened? It goes around the tissue of the heart, gets stuck there, and can increase heart attack by 40%. I wish and I hope that you guys understand this, that there's so much knowledge out there about nutrition that is completely false. And all these so-called health experts these days, not a single one of them have ever went and see how the whole process works. We work with biochemists. We know who's the best labs in the world. We know where you get the best acerola cherry, the best camu camu. We went to the Peruvian mountain above 10,000 feet elevation to get our maca, guys. We know where things are grown and how they're cultivated, how they're packaged, and how they're shipped. We know the process from inception to encapsulation. So I hope I can just put some sense in some of you, especially those young athletes. And I just want to remind you that when you are healthy, you can dream of 1,000 things and want 1,000,000 things. But when you are sick, you only want one thing. Health is wealth. Stop investing in cheap supplements. At least if you don't want to invest in good supplements, don't invest in cheap supplements, in my personal opinion. And this video is for a informational purpose only. So enjoy life. We are here in Southeast Asia today.